Welcome to the .NET MAUI Tab View tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to enhance navigation by integrating a center button and implementing its functionality in the Syncfusion .NET MAUI Tab View. I open an existing MAUI application. Here, I have already configured the Syncfusion MAUI Tab View control and integrated tab items to navigate between different tabs. To learn how to add the .NET MAUI Tab View control to your MAUI application, watch the video linked in the YouTube card above or the description below. Now, I run the application. You can see that each tab displays an icon along with its respective content. Next, to add a center button to the tab view, I enable the center button by setting the center button enable property to true. To customize the center button, I use the center button settings property and initialize the center button settings element. I then configure the size, corner radius, dimensions, display mode, and background color. Within the image source, I set the icon for the center button using font image source. I assign a specific glyph code from the custom font family and set the icon color. Look now, a fully customized center button is displayed. Next, I will show you how to add a compose dialog that appears when the center button is tapped. First, I add the center button tapped event to the SF tab view, which will trigger the dialog. Below the SF tab view control, I place a grid named compose dialog. I set its visible property to false to hide the dialog during the initial load. Inside this grid, I add another grid with a semi-transparent black background to dim the screen and focus attention on the dialog. The dialog content is placed inside a vertical stack layout with margins for spacing and a white background. Then, I place a grid that divides the header into two columns, one for the title and another for the close button. In the first column, I place a box view to create a header bar and a label that displays the title Compose. In the second column, I add an image control for the close icon. Within the gesture recognizer's property, I add a tap gesture recognizer element to this image, which triggers the exit button clicked method when tapped. Now, I move to the exit button clicked method and call the close dialog method to hide the dialog. It fades out the dialog over 600 milliseconds, sets its visibility to false, and resets the tab view to the first tab. Next, I implement the center button tap method, which is triggered when the center button is clicked. In this method, I set the dialog's opacity to 0 and update the header bar color. I make the dialog visible and animate its fade in effect over 600 milliseconds using linear easing. I return to the dialog layout and add a vertical stack layout to contain the input field for composing the message. Within the horizontal stack layout, I add a label that displays the text in gray, indicating the recipient field. The text is centered both horizontally and vertically for alignment within the row. To wrap the input field, I import the Syncfusion MAUI Toolkit text input layout namespace and integrate the SF text input layout control. Inside the input layout, place an entry control pre-filled with an email address. Similarly, I add a horizontal row for the subject line using the same layout structure. To allow users to type the message body, I use SF text input layout as a container and place an editor inside it for multi-line text input. At the bottom right, I place a send button with a clicked event handler. When clicked, it triggers the button clicked method. Finally, I move to the main page CS file to implement the event handler method. In the button clicked method, I call the close dialog method to hide the dialog after the message is sent. Once the application is loaded, I tap on the center button. The compose dialog will appear, allowing you to enter a subject and message in the text fields. Then, click the send button to submit your message. Let me wrap up this video. You have learned to enhance navigation by integrating a center button and implementing its functionality in the Syncfusion .NET MAUI Tab View. If you would like to see this example's working code, Download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also included a link where you can check if you qualify for our community license, which gives you a free license key for our entire .NET MAUI controls. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.